Thank you for attending this Michigan Merit Exam, or MME, and High School Assessment Overview for 2019. My name is Steve Reed, and I am the MME Test Administration and Reporting Consultant with the Office of Assessment and Accountability, or OEAA, at the Michigan Department of Education. This recorded PowerPoint presentation is targeted to district and building test coordinators who are responsible for the administration of the Spring 2019 Michigan Merit Exam for students in grade 11 and eligible grade 12 students, and for PSAT assessments for students in grades 9 and 10. Along with this overview of the MME and high school assessments, there will be a separate PowerPoint presentation by the College Board, which includes the SAT with Essay, PSAT 8-9 for grade 9, and PSAT 10. You will find separate presentations on the ACT work keys, MSTEP, supports and accommodations, and the OEAA Secure Site Test Administration tasks. Coordinators should review the presentations relevant to their test administrations. These PowerPoint presentations are posted to the MME website, www.michigan.gov/MME. While watching this presentation, make notes of any questions for the live Q&A session, which will be held on Tuesday, November 27th from 10 to 10:50 for the Michigan Merit Exam, PSAT 8-9 for grade 9, and PSAT 10, and from 11 o'clock to 11:50 for the PSAT 8-9 and MSTEP for grade 8. The web URL is given here with access information on the next slide. The WebEx meeting number, password, and audio access code are given along with two different call-in numbers if you choose to listen on the phone. Coordinators will be able to use the chat feature to ask questions. This slide displays the Spring 2019 MDE testing overview. We will go into more detail on the specific dates for SAT, PSAT, ACT work keys, and the MSTEP in later presentations. But this document will be helpful to those also testing English learner students with WITA Access or WITA Alternate Access, and/or students taking one of the MyAccess assessments. English learners or EL students are administered one of the WITA assessments sometime over a 7-week period starting February 4th and going through March 22nd. Students being assessed with MyAccess have 7 weeks starting on April 8th and going through Friday, May 24th. Plan your building schedule carefully to ensure all students are provided adequate time to test. So what is the MME? Michigan law spells out that the MME, or Michigan Merit Exam, consists of 3 required components. 1, a component that will assess the Michigan high school content standards in ELA, mathematics, science, and social studies. MSTEP does this for science and social studies. Please note, this is the last year of the required MSTEP science field test. Next year, the test will be operational. SAT with Essay provides scores for ELA and mathematics. Second, a college entrance exam, which for Michigan is the SAT with Essay. And third, a work skills assessment. For Michigan, we use the ACT work keys assessment. As stated earlier, all 3 components are required. This means that schools have to register their intention to participate and be established as test centers, both with the College Board and ACT. College Board and ACT will both discuss their respective test center establishment processes in their video presentations. The Test Center participation page in the OEAA Secure Site can help you track your participation status This page is discussed further in the Secure Site presentation. The SAT with Essay will be administered on Tuesday, April 9th, 2019, and the ACT work keys will be given on Wednesday, April 10th, 2019. Tests administered at other times are at the discretion of the district or school and do not take the place of the April administration. For spring 2019, the SAT with Essay, PSAT exams, and the ACT work keys are provided in paper-pencil mode only. With the exception of the very small handful of schools that were approved for paper-pencil testing, all schools would be administering the M-STEP online. For individual students that require an accommodation or designated support, accommodated paper-pencil forms of the M-STEP assessments are available. All 11th grade public school students are expected to take the MME, and they are expected to take all three components of the MME, the SAT with Essay, the ACT Work Keys Assessment, and the M-STEP Science Field Test and the M-STEP Social Studies Test. Non-public school students may take the MME, but they must participate in all three components and may not pick and choose which component or components will be administered. As this slide shows, all first-time 11th graders are required to take the complete MME, and that includes foreign exchange students. For students repeating the 11th grade, they may choose to take the MME if they are missing a valid score in one of the three MME components. But again, if they choose to do this, they must be administered the entire MME. If a repeating 11th grader received valid scores in a prior year, all three MME components, they are not eligible to retake any of the MME. As a general rule, 12th graders do not take the MME. There are some exceptions, and when they occur, the student must take all three of the required components. 12th graders who did not take the MME as a junior are required to take the entire MME. 12th graders who are missing a valid score in one or more of the three MME components may be administered the MME again, and they would have to take the three components. 12th graders who have valid scores in all three components of a prior MME are not eligible to retake any part of the MME. If you have additional questions about whether an 11th or 12th grader should take the MME, please check out the high school grade assignment for accountability calculations, frequently asked questions, document that can be found at the link listed on the screen. The document can also be accessed from the MME webpage under General Information. This document addresses common questions such as transfer students and students who participated in a foreign exchange program as 11th graders. Here you see the estimated testing times for the total MME. The M-STEP Social Studies and Science Field Test times are estimates. Students are provided as much time as they need for those assessments. The SAT and Work Keys assessments are time tests. The total time estimated for the 2019 MME is 9 hours and 22 minutes. These timings may vary for students testing with accommodations or supports. The three parts of the MME will not all be given on the same day. The standard testing time for the PSAT 8-9 for grade 9 is 2 hours and 40 minutes, and for the PSAT 10, 3 hours. These times do not include the pre-administration session, which could take an additional 30 to 40 minutes. The College Board PowerPoint presentation will give more information about the individual parts of the SAT with Essay, the PSAT 8-9 for grade 9, and the PSAT 10. Timings may vary for students using test accommodations. There have been improvements across the three parts of the MME this year. Here are a few highlights from College Board and ACT. The College Board has increased accessibility for English learners and simplified administrative policies and procedures. ACT WorkKeys has redesigned the ACT state website, increased the number of language translations for test directions, and reduced waiting times at their call center. For InStep, in 2018, 99% of schools participated in online testing, and school testing issues have continued to be reduced from 2015 to 2018. As a side note that will be applicable to test coordinators with grade 8 students, starting in spring 2019, the PSAT 8-9 will be administered to 8th graders as the statewide assessment for English language arts and mathematics for accountability purposes. MSTEP will continue to be required for the social studies and science assessments for 8th graders. There will be a separate PowerPoint presentation for 8th grade test coordinators. District and building test coordinators should ensure that district, school, and test coordinator information is updated in the Educational Entity Master, or EEM. You can review current EEM contact information by going to the OEAA Secure Site District and Schools contact page. If changes are needed, your district EEM authorized user can make changes for your school. For additional information, see the OEAA Secure Site Test Administration Tasks PowerPoint presentation. Off-site testing is for schools who, for various reasons, cannot test on-site at their school buildings. There are two windows for MSTEP off-site request. November 5, 2018 through January 11, 2019 is for school or building-wide request. From January 14 through May 1, 2019, schools and districts can request off-site administrations for individual students. If these situations occur in your district or school, use the link on the MSTEP webpage at www.michigan.gov/MSTEP to submit an off-site testing request. If you plan to test off-site for ACT WorkKeys, go to the MME website and submit the request form before January 11, 2019. See specific off-site testing details in the ACT Test Administration Manual. College Board has its own off-site process for the SAT with Essay and the PSAT 8-9 and PSAT 10. See the College Board website under Resources at www.collegeboard.org/Michigan. Barcode labels must be affixed to all answer documents to ensure that students get credit for their work. Valid barcode labels will avoid delays in scanning, scoring, and reporting. This continues to be a critical issue for 2019. The OEAA Secure Site Test Administration Tasks presentation will give information on how to print labels locally when you do not have a pre-printed barcode label. There are additional resources available to help you as a test coordinator. MDE has recently released a new assessment coordinator training guide. This resource is available on all MDE web pages by clicking on the round Assessment Coordinator Training Guide icon. The assessment guide does not replace individual test administration manuals, but it is a great resource for specific testing information. It contains a quick reference guide to help you find needed information. The Guide to State Assessments provides a valuable overview of all the assessments that MDE will provide for the 2018-2019 school year. The Assessment Integrity Guide is a required resource for all staff involved in testing. It provides information that will help ensure that all students have a fair and equitable environment for demonstrating what they know and can do in relation to Michigan's content standards. These resources can be found on the MME webpage at www.michigan.gov/MME. The MME webpage also houses a number of documents related to accommodations, designated supports, and EL students. The Student Supports and Accommodations table and the testing policy for newly arrived and first-year English learner students are two examples. You can also view the Supports and Accommodations PowerPoint presentation in this series. The Spotlight on Student Assessment and Accountability is MDE's weekly newsletter related to assessment and accountability. It has sections specifically devoted to SAT and work keys. You can use the quick links on the left to jump to articles that apply to your test administrations. You can sign up for the Spotlight at the link listed on the top of the screen, or you can go to the MME webpage at www.michigan.gov/MME and click the Spotlight icon under General Information. In addition to the documents just discussed, you can link directly from the MME webpage to MSTEP, College Board, ACT, and Secure Site training. If you need more information, contact the OEAA call center at 877-560-8378 and select the option related to your question. The call center is staffed by personnel who are trained specifically in Michigan assessments. You may also email assessment-related questions to mde-oeaa@michigan.gov. Thank you for attending this introduction to the Michigan MME for spring 2019. Be sure to watch the other PowerPoint presentations in this series for more information.